King's Dominion is about to get one of the largest investments in the park's history. The last major coaster the park opened was in 2022 when they opened Tombili with the brand new highly themed Jungle Expedition area of the park, and that was praised as one of the greatest new additions and overall best themed areas of any Cedar Fair park. What King's Dominion has planned for the next coaster in 2025 though is a whole lot crazier than anything we've seen. King's Dominion doesn't disappoint when it comes to new coasters, and it looks like their upcoming new coaster already under construction will be one of the biggest investments the park has ever made and finally be a worthy replacement for Volcano. King's Dominion is already one of the best parks in the country, but with the new things they have in store, this park may soon become one of the top tier parks in the Cedar Fair chain. King's Dominion was always treated decently by the Cedar Fair chain. They got the relocated B&M Floorless Coaster Dominator in 2008, and they opened their intimate Giga Coaster Intimidator 305, now known as Project 305, just 2 years later for the 2010 season. The park then went quiet for 8 years before opening Twisted Timbers in 2018. During this time, the park had also removed their most iconic and one of their best attractions, Volcano, the Blast Coaster. Everyone saw the decrease in investment by Cedar Fair into King's Dominion, and when the park announced Tombili, their SNS Mini 4D Freespin, to open for the 22 season, it seemed it would only continue to go downhill from there. How could King's Dominion replace Volcano with a 4D Freespin? Little did we know, however, that King's Dominion had begun working on a master plan that would bring the park up to a higher level than ever before. When Tombili opened along with the newly rethemed Jungle Expedition area, people began to see what was going on. King's Dominion was gonna spend money on the theming and aesthetic of the park, thereby bringing it to become one of the better parks in the country. Still though, it seemed King's Dominion would remain a mid-tier quality Cedar Fair park. Shortly after Tombili opened in the summer of 2022, I put out a poll asking you guys how you thought King's Dominion was doing. The overwhelming majority of you, 76% to be exact, responded that you thought King's Dominion was okay. A minor 15% voted that they thought King's Dominion was worse than ever, and 9% said they thought King's Dominion was better than ever. When predicting King's Dominion's next coaster after Tombili, most people were betting on 2026 or 2027 for the park's next coaster. People thought it might be a shorter wait than usual, being that the 4D Freespin wasn't exactly an expensive addition, nor was it a worthy Volcano replacement. But most people still thought it would take 4 to 5 years for another coaster to come to the park. People also didn't expect anything record-breaking to come to the park for their next coaster. Just another mid-range budget coaster at a mid-tier Cedar Fair park. In March of 2023, I polled you all on what coaster you thought King's Dominion would get next. I gave 4 options and the results were overwhelming. 58% of you voted for the B&M Wing Coaster, 15% voted for the SNS Access Coaster, 14% voted for a Vekoma Launch Coaster, and just 12% of you voted for the RMC Raptor. Just 2 months later, in May of 2023, I polled you guys on what year you thought King's Dominion's next coaster would come. 6% of you voted for 2024, 64% of you voted for 2025, while 20% of you voted for 2026, and the remaining 10% voted on 2027. Turns out, you guys were right. King's Dominion did go with 2025 for the next coaster, and you were also right that it would be a B&M Wing coaster. Nothing record-breaking, just a mid-tier coaster for the mid-tier park, right? Well, not exactly. While you were all correct that King's Dominion would open a new B&M Wing coaster as their next major addition for the 2025 season, I don't think any of us realized how big of a project the park was about to take on. You see, King's Dominion was done with the classic big record-breaking coasters. King's Dominion wasn't trying to impress anymore. Similar to how Maverick kind of ended the coaster wars when every park was trying to build the tallest and fastest ride possible. King's Dominion was moving to end the coaster wars by building a high-quality, well-themed attraction. They could have gone with something insane that would compete with the hype of Iron Gwazi or Velocicoaster, But instead they decided to go about it totally differently. Let's just say Kings Dominion would have instead decided to open a massive SNS Access coaster. At the forefront, that might seem like a better addition for the park. It would be a record-breaking awesome attraction that will be a worthy replacement for Volcano. It would generate hype like never before, and it would bring the crowds in. However, there's just one other thing that the coaster would likely have in common with Volcano. It would probably be a maintenance headache and would probably have pretty poor capacity. Kings Dominion decided to go with the B&M Wing Coaster, and that is honestly a perfect fit at the park. The park only has one coaster from B&M with their relocated floorless coaster, and they could really use another. The Wing Coaster is a model Busch Gardens nearby doesn't currently have, and as B&M's always are, it would be a very reliable attraction with high capacity. Kings Dominion would be getting what will likely become their most popular coaster, and it would be a unique model from a reliable manufacturer. Nothing over the top and no crazy record breaking, just something guests would be able to enjoy for decades to come. This coaster is going to feature a launch, and it will likely be the longest and best B&M Wing coaster in the US. But it's definitely not going to be anything close to an Iron Gwazi or a Velocicoaster. Instead of spending their 50th anniversary budget on some insane high-thrill record-breaking coaster, the park decided instead to go with a very solid coaster that would be loved by regular guests and also have some cash left over to theme it properly. Kings Dominion is going all out on the theming for this new coaster, and they are working to extend Jungle Expedition a lot. The highly themed area will stretch further throughout the park to include the area this new coaster will sit on, as well as Project 305 and Flight of Fear. Kings Dominion is putting a ton of effort to what will likely be the most immersive and highest themed area at any Cedar Fair park. Project 305 and Flight of Fear will likely be repainted and rethemed to fit the area, and it seems the park is putting a ton of money and time into this to make it perfect. The park has had construction walls up from the beginning of the 2024 season, which is way earlier than necessary to construct a 2025 B&M Wing coaster. Kings Dominion realized they have the Maverick of today. There's no need for over-the-top thrill coasters and breaking a ton of records. They just have to build a quality attraction that will be an immersive, thrilling experience. Sure, rides like Iron Gwazi are super fun, but a highly themed B&M Wing coaster may be even more enjoyable. Theme parks that are well themed do a much better job of taking out of the regular fast-paced world and giving you a relaxing, enjoyable experience. Gone are the days where amusement parks look like parking lots with insane thrill rides built on top of them. We're entering a transition point where quality attractions that are well themed will be the winners. Kings Dominion is jumping on this first, and if what they did with Jungle Expedition in 2022 is any tell, then we're in for a huge surprise. Kings Dominion may be a regular mid-tier Cedar Fair park, but they're definitely headed down the right path. 2025 is going to be a big year for them, and I couldn't be more excited for what they have planned in honor of their 50th anniversary. The new coaster and re-theme are one of the biggest projects in the coaster industry, and I can't wait to get out to Kings Dominion next year to experience all the incredible new investments for myself. I hope you enjoyed this video, and it means a lot to me that you took the time to watch it. If you want to hear my predictions for all of the other Cedar Fair parks getting new 2025 editions, I'll link that video on screen now. Give it a watch if you're interested, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See ya in the next one.